Hey there, everyone. How are you today? Tara Moore here with Healing Adventures. So, how are you? So, I want to get on here. It's funny with this whole YouTube process. Some days I'm like, what do I want to talk about today? So, I just got done with an amazing session and hypnosis session. It was a remote session. And one of the subjects that came up was sex. And we started talking about various things around the reproductive organs, various things around, how do I say? Basically, we just started talking about, various things that come up around sex, whether it is the performance of sex, the performance of an orgasm, and so forth. What are some things that tend to stop us or get in the way? Do we have blocks? These kinds of things. So it was an interesting conversation. And while I was thinking about it, while I was in the session and in the process of discussing things with my client, I heard the song, "Let's Talk About Sex, Baby." Let's talk about you and me. As if I need to sing on here, so I won't do that. But that song came to my mind, and I realized that's what I'm supposed to talk about today. Something that comes up a lot in my sessions, and maybe, it's funny, I feel like, what's that story or what's that saying? I'm just going to stop right there. Delete, delete, delete. Okay, here's what I'm going to go back to saying. So, something that comes up a lot in my sessions is sex, intimacy, and relationships. Why? Because we're human beings and we have a lot of sex, intimacy, and relationships. That's why. But there are a lot of blocks in this area for people. And previously, when I had my coaching practice, I think I opened it about 14 years ago. I opened my coaching practice, and it evolved from career coaching into sex and intimacy coaching. I started working with women predominantly around sex, intimacy, and their relationship to body image, self-image. So this has been coming up a lot lately. And probably more so because maybe I'm starting to feel that maybe that's where I'm supposed to go back to, is in that field, or I don't want to say field, it's not a field, but in that area of healing, because there's so much healing to be had when we talk about sex and trauma. I don't want to bring up what's going on in the news over the last few years, but there has been a lot of trauma around sex and intimacy, sexual abuse, sexual assault, child trafficking and sex, all kinds of things. Something that I love about this work that I do, the hypnosis work, is it allows people, again, those of you that really understand the quantum healing side of hypnotherapy and this beyond quantum healing, the work that I do with people, it allows for you to access this higher self of yours, this higher part of you, to dig in and really dig deep into the roots of traumas within your body. And so today's session was remarkable because we got to see so many layers and so many aspects of what was going on and how the blocks were showing up, both in energetic situations that were going on, past life situations that were being carried over, even, I'll get into it, even things as much as energy attachments carrying their own cellular memory, carrying their own roots with sexual trauma or sexual breakdown, however, and then it living itself out through this client of mine. So with this work, I love this work because it allows for us to dig in deep and get to the root of that stuff so that we have answers and clarity around what's stopping us, what's blocking us. A perfect topic would be, and one of my favorite topics actually, is orgasms and climactic orgasms. And one of the biggest things that I always tell people when I used to work with women specifically, as many of you know, there are all kinds of stories, or I like to call them programs, around orgasms. How you're supposed to have one, how it's supposed to be stimulated, who's supposed to have one first, are you supposed to have one at all? There's all this stuff we have around the orgasm. One of the things I love to share with people is, what if you went into sex without worrying about the orgasm? What if you just allowed yourself to completely lose yourself in the energy of the now moment, in the energy of the experience, in the energy of that moment, that connection with whomever it is that you are expressing that love with? What if you just allowed yourself to fall deeply into that energy? Like you didn't even have to make it about the orgasm or how to get there or why to get there or who needs to get there first, and then what's going to happen if you don't get there, and what are they going to think about myself what am I going to think about myself if they don't get there? What are they going to think about me if I don't get there? What if I don't get him or her there? What happens? Like all this chatter about orgasms. What if you just allowed yourself to really just be in the space of that now moment, the experience of the connection with another human being at the level of intimacy, of relaxation. So sometimes, some people can just get there. Some people can experience that. But there's many people out there where we have baggage. There's many people out there, I might be speaking to you, and if I am speaking to you, feel free to privately message me, because I'd love to speak with you about this topic. Honestly, sex and intimacy in relationships is my favorite thing to talk about. I love it because I love seeing people connected with others. And when I say intimacy, I don't mean intimacy like it has to be sexual intercourse. One of my dear friends told me intimacy means into you I see, or into me you see. Intimacy. It's into you that I see, or into me that I see. Intimacy, or that you see. I think if I say it enough times, I'm going to get myself all confused. But you get my drift, right? You get what I'm saying. Intimacy is not about a sexual connection. It's about, I like to say, a sensual connection. Not sensual like you may hear it. Not like sex. It's about being. It's about me being with you and you being with me. Can we be with each other on this energetic level? Can we allow ourselves to relax into that moment and just be? To where we can trust, to where we can hear, to where we can feel safe, to where we can connect. Like, can we just do that? Can we be that? That's intimacy. Into you I see, and into me you see. Intimacy. It's beautiful. So, why am I talking about sex today? I don't even know, but it came up, but I do know. So I want to talk about it because I feel that there's access for people. When people feel blocks, when you feel that there's something missing in your connection with others, or let's talk about partners, when we're being with partners, if you feel that there's a connection missing, if you feel that you have a block to orgasms, if you feel that you have a block of just being, like allowing somebody to be with you, allowing your partner to see you, allowing your partner to be with you. Are you able to see your partner? Like, if blocks come up around those areas, I encourage you to take a look at what that might be. And if it's difficult for you to locate what that is, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to support you in that process. These are the blocks that I talk about. These are the blocks that stand in our way of our fullest expression. These are the blocks that stand in our way of allowing us to truly be with people. Sex came up, sex and intimacy. Let's talk about sex. This came up because it seems to be this reoccurring pattern that I'm seeing in my clients, where they come to me for one situation. But what always ends up happening, I shouldn't say always is not the word. What inevitably happens on many of the situations, or many of the cases, I don't want to say cases, many of the appointments that I've worked with people, there are traumas that come up from their childhood, there are traumas that come up from past lives, and there are traumas that come up from this current life in current relationships related to sex. And what I've seen with people is when we get to those traumas and when we're able to get clarity on what happened, and when we're able to understand both sides of the story, there's a freedom that occurs for people. There's a freedom that occurs that unfolds for them. It just allows them to be newly in their life. And it allows them to show up in their life in a way that they hadn't been able to experience because that tension was living inside of their body. And when that tension is released, it's just out, right? You can just be with people. So I just wanted to share that today. And I wanted to get on here. I missed you. I haven't been on here in a few days. Yes, I apologize for that, and I will get back to my 3 videos a week. But I wanted to talk to you about that because I feel it's really important. And my commitment to people is that people have access to themselves in a way that they didn't they didn't previously know, that you have access to your whole self, to your complete self, to everything you need to know about yourself. And why I created Healing Adventures is because I believe through hypnosis, through intuitive coaching, I believe people can find access for themselves. So please reach out to me. I want to work with you. And by the way, if you saw my last video, we are offering sessions at a beautiful discounted rate right now because I was celebrating the 6-month celebration of my practice being open. So take a look at that last video. Also, if you liked what you hear today, subscribe, hit the like button, share this video with people. I really am looking forward to hearing from you. I love being with you and sharing what I can. I also love sharing with you about what happens in these sessions. Many times with these sessions, I can't post them on YouTube. Some of them are very personal. Today's session was incredibly personal, so I can't share that information. But I can come on here and talk to you about the kinds of breakthroughs or the access that's available when you do this type of hypnosis work, as well as work with me just one-on-one as a coach. And we dive in and we dig into what's going on and we figure out what are those blocks. Let's remove them. Let's just, start breaking them down one by one. So I want to thank you for checking this out today. And again, if you like what you hear, subscribe, hit the like button, share with your friends. Please post any comments, ask me any questions. I'm happy to respond, and reach out to me as soon as you can. Let's get your schedule sessioned, or your session scheduled. Let's make that happen. Anyways, have an amazing day. Again, if you like what you hear here, please subscribe, like, and share, and wishing you the most fantastic day. Take care.